Hello, this is a video for years 3 and 4 and we're going to be looking at geography today. So can you just check you've got what you need? You need a pencil, a spare piece of paper or the back of your English book would be fine, a ruler, an atlas or a map of the UK if you have one. If you don't, it doesn't matter. And finally, a printout of the UK, just the UK outline, if you were able to do that from Dojo. If you weren't, again, that's fine. You could just draw them with your pencil. Pause the video to check you've got those things. And we're going to write the date in LO. For year 3s, it's going to be Monday. For year 4s, it might be a different date for you. So just jot down the right date and the yellow and underline it with a ruler. Do that now. And you can see on our screen the map of the world. We are going to be looking at the UK in a moment, but I'd like to first just to think about the world. Now, we have got 7 continents in our world, and I'd like you to see if you can remember what those 7 continents are. Pause the video and see if you can write down the 7 different continents. Do that now. Yeah, so we've got North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australasia and Antarctica down the bottom there. So we have done that before in school, but sometimes we just need to remind ourselves, don't we? So just check you're happy with those. Okie doke. So, as I explained before, we're going to be learning about the UK today. Now, UK actually stands for United Kingdom, and that means that there are 4 different countries within the UK which are united together. I wonder if you can have a look at the map on the screen and see if you can spot where the UK is. What colour is the UK? Pause the video and have a little look. Yeah, so it's the bit in pink. So we've got a big pink blob here, and we've got a little pink blob here on the map, and those pink blobs represent the UK. I wonder if you remember what continent we are in. So this map here on the screen shows a continent. It's the continent we are in. What's it called? Yeah, so it's called Europe. So we are in the continent of Europe. Now, if you look very, very closely at this map, okay, where the pink blob is, like we just explained, you will see the names of 4 different countries. Look closely, see if you can read them. So we've got Scotland, Wales, England and Northern Ireland, and those are the 4 countries that represent the UK, where we live as well. So pause the video, see if you can look away from the screen and see if you can remember those 4 countries that represent the UK. Do that now. And I thought now we'd have a look at the flags of each of these countries. So at the top we've got the flags of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, not in those order, mind. And I'd like you now to pause the video again and see if you can match up any of those flags. You might know a couple already, and there might be a couple that maybe you have to have a guess on, or you might know all of them. So match them up now, just with your finger. You don't need to write anything down in your book yet. Pause the video, do that now. Yeah, so you should have thought about this. So we've got England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. So there's the different flags. Now we have another flag that represents the United Kingdom. I wonder if you remember what this flag looks like. When you see it, you will recognise it. So here we go. And I'd like you to have a think about how it was designed. Have a look at the flags at the top of the screen and have a think about how it was designed. You might want to pause the video if you want to here. Yeah, these flags up here, inspired the design of this flag. You might see little elements of some of those flags along the top in our flag here, and that's because the United Kingdom encompasses all these little countries together. We're united, and the flag, I think, represents that quite well. Now, some of you are going to have a printed copy of this, and some of you will need to have sketched this out. So however you do it, I'd like you to have this stuck into your book or drawn into your book. Okay, if you're drawing it, you'll need to pause the video for a bit longer because it might take you a little while to draw that. It doesn't need to be perfect, so don't worry. If you're sticking it in, you might be a bit quicker with that. But what I'd like you to do is use your atlas, or use your map of the UK, or you could Google this to find out what the capital cities of these 4 countries are, and also label the countries as well. So it might be worth doing the labelling first. So number 1, task 1, label those 4 countries that we've just talked about that make up the UK. Task number 2, research in whatever way you've got available to you where the capital cities are of those countries. If you've got none of those ways available to research, you could go and ask someone in your house, if they're available, where the capital cities are as your way of researching. Okay, so task 1, label the countries. There are 4. Task 2, see if you can find out what the capital cities are and label them exactly where they are on the map. Quite often, a good way of doing this is through a little dot. So say, for example, there was a capital city here, which there isn't, by the way, but you might want to just draw a little dot and label it. That's how it would look on a map, or something similar. So pause the video. That's your task for the moment. Off you go. Brilliant. So as you can see, we should have something a bit like this. So you've got 4 capital cities, and we've got London, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Belfast. That's what you should have. Okay, if you haven't, you can always edit your work now, and they should be about those places on the map as well. That's about where they are. Now, I wanted to have a look at a compass. This is something else we need to cover in school or at home, as you are now. What is a compass? Some of you might have seen one before. Some of you might have used one before. Well, we use compass points to describe position and direction. It often tells us where we're going and what direction we're going in. And there are 4 main points of the compass, 4 main points that we are very comfortable and confident with, I know. We've got north, south, east, and west. However, in year 3 and 4, we have to know 8 points on a compass. So we can be more specific if we have a further 4 compass points, which you can see in red here on this compass. These come halfway between the main points and are called northeast. And we can see that's northeast because it's in the middle of north and east. So that's northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. So we need to try and remember those points. Okay, so you might want to pause the video and have another look at this on your own if you'd like to. In your book or on your paper, I'd like you to see if you can remember what those are in writing. So can you fill out these blank spaces and jot down what these mean? Bear in mind, these are compass points, so you need a capital letter for certainly north, east, south, and west. So just make sure you've got that. So pause the video and do that little activity now. Okay, so let's have a think about where we are on the map of UK. We know that we are in England. We pointed out London, but we don't live in London, so have a think about where we are in the map of the UK. You may pause the video if you'd like to. We are about here. That's where we are. Now, your next task in your book is to use your compass points that we just talked about, using these compass points as well as these ones, depending on what's most appropriate. I'd like you to explain in what direction each of the capital cities are from where we are now. So we are here, and let's think about London first. Well, London was about here, wasn't it? So actually, for that description, if we look at the compass point, London is to the east of where we are. So you might write, London is to the east of Alveston, we might write. Please change the stem sentence if that works better for you, depending on how you're wording it. I would write, London is to the east of Alveston. Okay, so each time remembering where we are, thinking about where the other capital cities are, and use these compass points to help you describe. You might be using one of the 4 compass points we've learnt about before, like we just showed you there, or you might be having a go at using these further 4 points which we've learnt about today. So pause the video and write me 4 sentences describing where those 4 capital cities were from earlier in the lesson to thinking about where we are now. Do that now. If you'd like a little extension and you've got your atlas handy, you could look up some landmarks, some perhaps famous places or buildings in each of those capital cities. So that's an option if you'd like it and you have the resources. Another option, now you've finished the majority of the lesson, is to work on your compass points a little bit more. So if you'd like another little activity, this doesn't need to be written in your book. You need to pause the video here, so you've got the picture here, and I've also got some questions on the next slide. And what you have to do is you have to follow what it tells you to do, and you've got to work out where you are. So it's like a bit of a game, I suppose, really, a bit of a maze. So if you like that option as well, and you have a little bit of time, I'll flash the question page again in a moment, and you can do that in your own time. Well done for today. If you're up for it, post some pictures on Dojo, that would be fabulous. And I hope to see you again soon, particularly those Year 4s that I haven't seen for a little while now. So bye.